these modern women decide to get on dating apps, decide to get on Tinder. Let's just call them Tinder girls for the sake of conversation. They get on these dating apps, and these Tinder girls will automatically start matching with some of the most attractive men in her area. She will just start matching. Boom. And almost immediately, these men will match her back, and they will open a dialogue. Okay, this happens every single time, in case you're not wondering. This is the life of a woman that is maybe a 6 and a man that is a 10 across the board. He's got the assets. He looks good. He works out. He's got everything going for him. What happens is these women will link up with these men, and obviously they're going to put out the first night. They always put out the first night. A lot of times these men don't even have to leave their house. These women just, they show up, they knock on the door, they get invited in. He makes her a screwdriver out of some orange Kool-Aid, and then they go to the bedroom. Like this is what they do. It happens almost 100% of the time whenever these women come over. And these Tinder girls will always match with these attractive men. They will always attract them. They will always match with them. Now, what happens is, once these men smash, they kick them out of the bed. They always give them an excuse. Hey, I got to be up for work early in the morning, so you got to go. So they kick them out of the room at 2 a.m. and they're like, the walk of shame and got to get an Uber and then all this other stuff. And then these women will continue to try to message these men. And what happens is these men will not block them at first. They will just ignore the messages unless it gets a little too close to bothering them. And then they will choose to, I'm going to have to block you now because you're annoying me. They never give these women their phone numbers. It's usually always through Instagram is whenever they're texting. And then these women realize they're blocked, and then they will almost automatically, almost by instinct and by reflex, the next thing they will do is they will get on Instagram and they will get on TikTok and they will say, you know what? Men ain't shit.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now, these boys ain't shit. None of them. Him, none of y'all ain't
I'm
shit.
him.
And you ain't shit.
You disgusting, poo-poo-headed, triple-spoon, scuzzbarama. You blew it.
So this lady is out with a random man she met probably in the street, and she's tired. She is tired of this. She's tired of getting dressed up for these men that are not 10 out of 10 because she deserves the 10 out of 10 man. All these women deserve the top 1% of men. They're looking at all these other men walking around driving Bugattis, and they're having to settle with the dude that is driving a Nissan. They do not like that, but they don't realize that they are not a 10 out of 10 woman. They are a very low class, and also very, I don't really like to say low value, but very low value. There's really no redeeming qualities about women like this. The nails, the makeup, she's covered up her arms, but she has the trashy tattoos and she talks trashy and she uses a lot of male language, which is offensive language, is considered male language. Ladies, a lady does not talk like this, but they act very masculine, and then they're confused because they are not attracting masculine men. It's because masculine men do not want to be with a masculine woman. It's not going to happen. If a man wanted to be with another person that was masculine, then he'd probably just be with another man. Why would you be with a woman whenever there's all these other issues that comes along with it? That would be insane. That's the definition of insanity, is being with a woman because she acts like a man. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So men ain't shit, but also at the same time, women are dumb as a majority of the time. Let's continue.
I don't know who raggedy ass mother need to hear this, but your son ain't shit. He fuck anything. He lies. He cheats. He ain't shit. You raised him wrong, bitch.
You know what? A man is going to try to do whatever he wants to do. And I can agree that there is entire generations of men that are raised by single moms. So these men see these single moms. These men see how these single moms act. They act very, like we were saying earlier, they act very masculine. They act very needy. They are just, single moms are just very horrible to be around. I don't know. You can look back on any of the videos I made. They are insufferable. They are some of the worst people on the planet, honestly. And these men see that. They see these single moms, they see their own mothers acting this way. So they automatically assume and say, you know what? I think a majority of women are like this. I have come in contact with these women. The mom has drilled into this little kid's head that he should treat women like a princess and he should treat, but then he's looking at her And he's like, but why would I want to treat someone like you? Like, you don't deserve princess treatment. You're the furthest thing from a princess. You're a trashy 304 that got knocked up by a dude behind a dumpster and made me. Why would I treat anyone like that as a queen? Queens don't get knocked up behind dumpsters. I don't know who has to tell these women, but queens do not hang out behind dumpsters. Queens do not look like this. Those lashes, and there's a lot going on in this video. The eyebrows, the lashes, the hair. There's a lot going on. But that kind of proves my point, is because she is literally attracting the types of men that she hates. The types of men that are going to pipe her down and not call her the next day. They're not going to call her because they just don't want to hear her voice. Men do not like voices like this. They're very annoying. They are like nails on a chalkboard. It makes men's skin crawl whenever they hear women with this type of voice. It's very masculine, yelling. She's yelling. Like, her phone is right in front of her and she's yelling because she can't believe that another man has done this to her. The queen. You can't do this to the queen, you guys. She's the chosen one. She deserves the top percentage of men. She deserves to be in a relationship with him, not just for laying pipe. He wants to marry him. Good luck with that.
If you need a reminder that men ain't shit and that they're always talking to other girls, then buckle up, because we got a story time for you. So this happened last weekend, whole weekend. And my roommate had been, I don't want to say talking, but she had been texting this man. Now, we come across this group of boys.
We'll call them
the Kai Paps. The Kai Pap smears. And somehow she just started talking to one of them. He's basically one of them, right? I thought he was a little bit better, but she always had this gut feeling that he was just like the rest of them. But I was like, oh, I think he's a little bit more respectful. No. I was wrong again, but also I always never know what's right about men, so whatever. So either
Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Giveaway.
You know, and I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying everybody else is gonna.
Now, this woman you've seen on a few of my videos in the past, she has brought her friend in on her video, and we're just going to call them today, for the sake of argument, we're going to call them the twins. So we have the twins here, and they're telling us about their excursions with random men they meet on the street and how many hot dogs they shoved in their mouth that night. Let's continue.
we pull up to this bar crawl, we run into the Kai Paps, we say hello. I'm too sober to be saying hello to these men, whatever. We end up running into our friend. Let's call her. Now, Lexi also had made a comment. Oh, some guy I matched with on Hinge is here. We thought nothing of it. Also,
there was a lot of people here.
There was a lot of people.
What are the odds?
And also, we had known that this guy, we're gonna call this man Gibby. And we had known that Gibby had Hinge, but like we weren't really saying too much about it because they were just texting. Like they went on some dates, but like wasn't that serious. But let's say, so then we're leaving the bar, we're going to another bar, and I'm talking to my roommate, and she shows me a text from him, and he's literally like, oh, like, saying that this bar that they ended up going, because it was a bar crawl, the bar that they went to afterwards, like beat, they were going to another bar, he was,
The line was long.
Where are you going? And then she said that, and I was like, oh, whatever. She starts walking forward with the other girls in the group, and then I stay back, and I'm talking to Lexi, and Lexi pulls up her phone, she goes, and she was talking to her other friend, and then she said to me, oh, this guy, Gibby, just texted me saying that this bar is beat, and the line was really long, and like, immediately my heart dropped.
I just hear
like,
this?
did I just hear? That's weird. And then even before I could say anything, she's like, do you guys happen to know this guy, Gibby? Like, I noticed that your roommate is mutuals with him on Instagram. And I literally look right at her, and at the same time, I'm both like, is his name Gibby Possum? We say it at the exact same time, and she's like, oh my God, have they been talking? She's like, I swear, it's nothing. Like, he texts me once every couple months, like, not a big deal.
So these women are now realizing, and the story is unfolding because these women have realized that they are getting pipe laid dude by the same guy that is doing all these. He's going to these different bars. These men are going to be on these dating apps. Look, here is something that I cannot stress enough for you guys. When a woman says she's been on a dating app, every woman, when they're not dating, they are getting their insides rearranged by multiple different men on random nights of the week. Just keep that in mind. But you want to believe them, like, oh, they just went on a couple dates. Oh, they just text. Oh, they just this. No. That is the furthest thing from the truth. Trust me. Some of those texts happen at 1 a.m. and they are intoxicated and they're like, hey, come over. And she's like, but you know what? They close their eyes, so it doesn't count. See, that's what you don't get. Women, whenever they go home after a night at the bar with some random man, what they do is they close their eyes when it's happening. And that way it's not on their body count. They don't count it. It's a loophole. Let's continue.
Whatever, we matched on Hinge like months ago. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, just text whatever. They went on some dates. But I was like, she has literally always had a gut feeling like that this man was like talking to multiple girls, or he was saying the same things that he was saying to her, to other girls. This text message, you guys, was literally copy and paste. And he said it probably within 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah. Like, he sent it to both of them. And then she had said that he doesn't even hit her up that often. So how he was just answering my roommate, and then it was like, oh, I'm gonna go hit up Lexi now. Why would you do that? But
to be fair, I wasn't
Why
really
not?
giving him much. I always had the feeling. So Cammy was like, "You need to give him more," and I'm just like, oh.
no. She had always been like, I don't trust him, whatever. But I honestly thought he was a little bit more respectable of a guy. But we were proven wrong. So RIP to him. Literally, all men will always be talking to multiple girls. So you should be doing the same, because that's what they do to us. So yeah, just wanted to share.
I love the pain, because the pain is the truth. The hurt is the truth.
That's a false equivalency, because only attractive men can have multiple women in line. Not you guys know this. Average men, average dude with average jobs, average responsibilities, average height, average car, average money. He will not be able to do this at all. He might be able to text one girl that may have 9 or 10 other dudes in her inbox. That's the situation. But see, and that's the thing with women that aren't all mentally there. Their brains aren't working the way they should. You have 2 women in this room talking to each other, thinking that they have it all figured out. But what they don't understand is that this is only a very small percentage of men. These are attractive men. And he didn't just text her and Lexi or whoever it was. He probably had multiple women. I would say close to 7 or 8 women. Once you get past 8, it becomes a little unmanageable. You get lost in the sauce. You don't want to do that. He had about 8 women that he keeps on rotation, texting them. He probably texted them all that. They're all out going to the bar, and it's kind of a signal. It's a bat signal. Hey, look, I'm going to the bar. I might text you later to hook up. Just making sure you keep contact during that night. It happens all the time with these men. They always have a new random chick that they're going to be sliding into their, they're going to be visiting after the, whether they're going to visit them and then they're going to slide in. That's usually how it works. They've had a few Michelob Ultras and they are ready to have dessert. Happens all the time. And this is something that women will never understand. You can tell them straight to their face that, look, what you're dealing with here is you're dealing with these top percentage of men. Other men call them Chads. They're these top percentage of men that are like 6'5". They work out. They have a great job. They have a trust fund. They got the Bugatti. The total package, right? They're everything that these women want. But they will never have a relationship with these women. It's just not going to happen. They are convinced that these women are convinced that they are also that top tier woman. And they're not. They're very low value. They're very low IQ. They just do not understand. They don't understand the complexities that comes with being a man, because they judge all men differently. All men are attractive men to these women. They're all trash, right? And then women don't even think unattractive men exist. They think they're less than dirt. When a woman sees an unattractive man, she thinks of him as more of like an animal, more of like a dirty dog that's in the street that you don't want to get too close to it, or else you might get some of the dog water on you and you might smell like dog, and they treat him like something less than human is what they do. So whenever they say the word men, they're not talking about average men. They're talking about the top tier man, the 1% man, the Chads that they've always talked to in their DMs, the Chads on Hinge, the Chads on Tinder. These are the men that they're talking about when they use the word men.